welcome back to Bill Plays Bass, where I play these things. So today we're talking about a little bit about a heavy subject, and that's weight. No, not my fat ass. We're talking about how much basses weigh and how much that affects things. So the obvious thing is your back. So whether you're small of stature, you're young, you're really old, your medical conditions, having an instrument that feels comfortable and doesn't weigh too much is probably a good idea. So we're going to do a bit of a little challenge here. I'm going to show you 6 basses, and then I'll have you guess the weights of those. And then once we get through that, I will then show you, or give you my thoughts at least, on weight in general basses, what's a good weight, what's a bad weight, and then we can look at your thoughts. So let's get started. So this is a recent Epiphone EB-0 bass, all mahogany construction. It's got a bolt-on neck. It's got a pretty beefy bridge on, a really beefy humbucker here. Kind of a big old headstock. And this is solid mahogany. Mahogany can be really light. I've played some SG guitars that were light as a feather, and it can be really heavy. I've played some Les Pauls that feel like they were made out of depleted uranium. So, what do you think? Our next bass up is, for guessing the weight of, is a 90s Carvin LB75. Yeah, LB75 5-string bass. So this is older, I believe. It's got a big fat chunky neck on it, and it's got some Spurzl locking tuners on it. So kind of a big body. What do you think this thing weighs? So here is an original run G&L L2000 Tribute Series. This is the import. I believe this is an older body. Got some really chunky MFD magnetic field design pickups. Big old chunky bridge. It's a bolt-on 6-bolt maple neck on this. So what do you think that weighs? Now we have got one of my favorite basses here. This is a 1982 Ibanez Musician MC924. I believe this is actually made out of walnut under here, and then we've got a walnut and maple combo neck through construction, big beefy tuners, giant. This is actually a precision pickup, if you can believe it, and it's got a really beefy bridge on it. So what do you think this thing weighs? This beautiful beast is an original run Sire V7 Jazz. It's got not too beefy of a bridge, but the saddles are really beefy. You got this beautiful ash body, and it's got a maple neck on it. And maybe the electronics, there's a lot of knobs in there adding to the weight a little bit. So it depends. Swamp ash comes in two flavors. So there's swamp ash, the mythical lightweight tree that sat in the water forever. And then there's Louisville slugger ash. So which one do you think this one is? We're looking at an early 80s Ibanez Roadstar 2 RB760. It's also got that big chunky P pickup on it. This is a giant body. It's basswood, got a maple bolt-on neck. So how much do you think this bad boy weighs? And now that I've shown you all the basses, you can freeze the video here, go to the comments, and tell me which one you think is lightest, which one you think is heaviest. If you can say which one's in order, or light to heavy or heavy to light, go for it. I don't think you can, because I can't. Do it now. You've been warned. Time for the reveal. This Epiphone EB-0 weighs 9.4 pounds. This Carvin LB75 weighs 9.2 pounds. This G&L L2000 Tribute weighs 9.4 pounds. Okay, this Ibanez MC924 weighs 10.4 pounds. Sire V7 weighs 9.6 pounds. This RB760 weighs 8.4 pounds. Now that you know what all of these basses weigh, I'll give you my thoughts on weight, and we'll wrap this up. So 8.5 pounds to me is a really good weight. I mean, if you get under that, great. Again, this one is 8.4. This is not taxing at all. You'll be surprised every half pound you throw on above this, you're going to feel it, especially if you're actually playing it for some time. You know, like if you're actually out there gigging and you're playing 2, 3, 4 sets, you know, God help you with, you know, a 10.4 pound, you know, Ibanez Musician MC924. Now, you know, weight has other things that maybe there are impacts, right? So you could have impacts to sustain, for instance, or maybe tone. You know, those are some possibilities. Now, as far as lighter basses, you found this thing's made out of basswood. Basswood on the body is generally light, even though this is a giant bass body. If you're looking for lighter basses in general, things with small compact bodies are a great place to start. Things like the one I had, the lightest was 7.5, 7.7 Kubicki factor. Good luck finding one, and really good luck being able to afford one these days. However, Ibanez sound gear basses and similar, with just really small, thin designs, real sleek, real sexy looking, that are also really thin. Those guys are probably going to come in around 8 pounds or so. Headless basses, you know, you'd have a whole headstock not to worry about. And then also things like the Steinbergers, where it just kind of looks like a plank of wood with a neck attached to it. Obviously, anything with a smaller body is going to be lightweight. And FYI, basses average 9-ish pounds. You know, and again, it's an average. But, you know, if you're really concerned about the weight of something before you buy it, if you can't get it in your hands, you might want to ask. A lot of people, I've bought a lot of basses, so I've sold a lot of basses, I've sold a lot online, and you know, people that care, that's one of their first questions. Hey, how much is this damn thing weigh? So, all right, you know, again, my thoughts, you know, 8.5 is great. As you start getting toward 9, it's a little, and then anything over that, you know, I don't necessarily want to play that for a long time. So, all right, let me know your thoughts in the comments. You know, I don't know, am I crazy? Is 8.5 too heavy? Is it too light? Do you have any belief that a heavier or a lighter bass has any other merit for its weight besides, you know, saving your back? You know, do you think the tone's better or worse, you know, heavier or lighter? Do you think sustain is actually better or worse, heavier or lighter? Give me your thoughts below. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for hanging out with me. We'll see you next time.